Tonight, News Channel 5 Investigates has uncovered what critics say is smoking gun evidence. That evidence appears to show higher-ups inside Metro schools directly involved in efforts to manipulate test scores.
How close is this to a smoking gun?
I'd say the gun is pretty red hot and it's still smoking. It's it.
News Channel 5's Phil Williams continues his investigation.
For the past 6 months, Metro Schools officials have downplayed questions about the district's testing practices. But now we've obtained these emails that show the orders came from the top.
True games would involve making sure that every student tested.
Our investigation began with 2 Metro Schools insiders who went public with concerns about struggling students being pulled from critical classes at some struggling high schools.
All of these students, the ones that got pulled, have that in common. They did not perform well on the predictive tests.
Predictions that they might not perform well on end-of-course exams that are used to rate the performance of the schools. Why would they do that?
I mean, the only reason is because they want their scores to go up.
Yet when lawmakers held hearings,
we have not found instances of gamemanship.
But now emails obtained by News Channel 5 Investigates tell a different story.
Everything they said in their testimony in that hearing has just been proven to be a lie by these emails.
The emails were written in February 2010 as Metro Schools faced pressure to boost test scores to avoid a state takeover. The principal at Nashville's Hunters Lane High School notified Associate Superintendent Jay Steele that she had looked at students failing Algebra 1 and had identified more than 41 who were unlikely to pass their end-of-course exams. Steele's reply:
there is no way to move 41 plus without raising a red flag.
Of course not.
And State Representative Rick Womack noted Steele's suggestion that the principal specifically target the students who are predicted to score the lowest to pull from the class.
So they knew exactly what they were doing. They were targeting.
That's what it sure looks like.
Well, that's exactly what it says.
When you read these, is there a sense of, I told you so?
Exactly. A lot of that. We knew it all along.
Whistleblowers Kelly Brown and Shauna West questioned if the goal was to provide interventions for struggling students, as school officials have claimed, why Steele would have said there is no way to move 41 plus without raising a red flag. The principal asked, stick with under 10. Steele replied, yes, keep it low.
If it's the best thing for the student, do it for everybody.
Why would you keep it low?
Why would you do that?
And Steele's suggestion to target the students who are predicted to score the lowest, these women say, is a critical point.
And if this is what you're trying to do is manipulate data and you're trying to make your scores look better,
you want your obviously best students to test.
Yeah, so you want to throw your low ones out.
Gamesmanship, manipulating data. It's exactly what it is.
Y'all ready to get started?
The whistleblowers had also told us about immigrant students being demoted from 11th grade to 10th grade in the computer system so they would not have to take an 11th grade writing assessment that was also used to rate the performance of the schools. And there it is in this email from Jay Steele instructing principals, this is not a demotion and does not affect graduation. It was, he said, only a change on paper.
These are 11th grade students that were supposed to take that writing exam. And just because you change the paper and call them 10th grade students doesn't make them a 10th grade student.
Steele expressed hope that the on-paper demotions would boost the district's adequate yearly progress scores, the very scores that would have factored into a state takeover. Copied on the email, then Director of Schools, Jesse Register.
When you change paper to be something that's not what it's supposed to be, that is fraud.
Despite those emails, Metro Schools issued another written statement saying the district stands by the findings of its internal review that there has been no systemic gamesmanship of testing data. Ironically, the 2 individuals responsible for that internal investigation were copied on some of the very same emails that we discovered.
Thank you, Phil. And Phil's investigation continues online with a memo from a prominent principal slamming the district's internal investigation for downplaying the role of higher-ups. Just go to newschannel5.com where you can also see the Metro School statement in its entirety. Then, Thursday at 10, Phil has more emails that raise even more questions about whether Metro School officials have been playing games with data that the feds are watching.
The real impropriety here is they're covering it up. Change the data, which is what they mean when they say change the code. change what really happened to try to say something different happened.
Once again, more on this investigation this Thursday on News Channel 5 at 10.